World AIDS Day. And we'll make sure that you have links to those as well. So now we come to the highlight of the evening. None of this work would have been possible at all without the incredible support and tireless effort of my dear friend Amala. She's an inspiration and a beacon of hope to all of us that are trying very hard for these humanitarian efforts. Please come up.
Thank you, Pia, and thank you all my friends from the media once again for being here with us. I'd like to take you back to 2009 when I first met Pia. So the newspaper headlines, I live in Hyderabad, so the newspaper headlines had splashed all over, and the television channels were splashing that the children who were HIV positive had been expelled from their schools in Hyderabad, which was shocking. It was shocking, it was disturbing, it was a serious social problem, and the government and all the HIV Prevention Society of the government, NGOs working with HIV positive people, lots of friends from the media, everybody came together to attend a public debate. It was a public debate where the parents and teachers who had instrumented this expulsion of these children and the rest of us who were going to speak in support of it. And this debate went on for 3 to 4 hours. The media all spoke very positively, trying to convince the parents. We all spoke, we debated and debated, and at the end of it, maybe about 60% of the parents agreed that what they had done was wrong and they could take the children back. And 40% of course didn't, but what everybody agreed to was there was no material available. So in 2009, despite all the investment the government had put into HIV prevention, there was still no material available in the system to educate children and parents and teachers at the school level. Everything was available for adults, but nothing was available for schools. So this was extremely disturbing. They said, give us the material. It's because this material is not available that this situation has happened. So I went home that day very, very dejected that such material was not available. What were we going to do? And the same time, my husband came home one day saying, you have to meet this young lady called Dr. Pia Sarkar. So in my experience, that when a certain social problem arises, the universe always sends a solution. So I believe the universe had sent India Dr. Pia, who has her roots in India. Her grandfather was the famous magician P.C. Sarkar, who enthralled Indian audiences. She, of course, is born and brought up in the United States. So the universe sent her back to bring this solution for our children. So she had approached my husband on her own to lend his voice for the Telugu version of the animation. So he said, you must meet my wife, and he introduced us, and we hit it off from the moment we met, because our hearts were in the same place and our mission was so similar. But of course, as you know, it's much easier to shoot a film. To make an animation is very difficult. You're from the media. It's easy to just put somebody and put a few characters in film. But unfortunately, because the subject is so delicate, if people talk about it, it might get into sex education, and then the schools ban it. And then the state governments ban it. So Pia had come with a solution which she had taken up as a student in Stanford University, and she went on to become a professor there, and she did so much study and research. It was research based. She took all her students from India. She would send them with chapters back to India to experiment in their own villages, in their own hometowns, with the children in the community, and see how they had learned from it. And with this research-based, evidence-based study and documentation, she made the script and she made the visuals of this animation. And this is what she came to India with. She was sure that this was how children could best learn, because all the material was available on text, but when it was given to the schools, the teachers didn't have the skill, the human skills enough to translate that subject in a way the children could understand. And in so many places they missed out. Or the teacher would feel very delicate. A lady teacher would feel very delicate to explain it to adolescent boys. Or a male teacher, when explaining it, the adolescent girls would feel very awkward and run away. So many cultural reasons why this was not available. It's so easy to say that a solution is there, but to make it work in the community was not there. Secondly, in India, when children become sexually active, anywhere between the age of 15 and 21, if they become sexually active without the awareness about HIV and AIDS, then the only time they get the information is when they test positive during a pregnancy test when they are married, after their marriage, and they test positive in a pregnancy test. That's when they realize they're HIV positive, and that's too late. And that's how the disease has been spreading. Of course, in India, we don't like to talk about sex education. We say, no, our children don't have sex before marriage. But the truth is, in this day and age, it's better not to take the chance. Even if you don't want them to have, it's better they have the information. It's better they're aware of how it can be transmitted so that they can protect themselves from it. And this is where this material is so valuable for every Indian youth and child and grown up. This material will ensure that the young mind understands how to protect themselves and how to preserve themselves in a way that we can easily fight and eradicate this disease. Pia came with this solution sent by the universe, and I am so glad I met her. I'm so grateful. She left her family, she left a very lucrative job as a professor in Stanford University. She set up this NGO. She spent every last rupee of her savings trying to do this work. And you can imagine, for a lady with an American accent coming to India, you can imagine the difficulties she had. Everybody tried to cheat her, take her money, abuse her in every kind of way, and so she has been very brave. But of course, there have been so many good people that made it happen. Every star she went to came forward, delighted to be part of this. They understood the value of it. They gave their time free of cost. They took it up as their mission in their states to bring this material to the children. She got funding from amazing places. We went together to so many places to convince them. Of course, Pia didn't need me. She could have done it herself. But I suppose having a known person in India gave her the credibility, because a lot of people, you know, in the NGO world, they misuse funds as well. So together as a team, we brought a little credibility to the subject, and she raised the funding, and she has made sure everything has been paid for. We have had amazing technical support. Everywhere we went, people gave their studios free, people gave their time free. The animators worked day and night. They would have day jobs. They would give their time at night to do the animations. It has been just so overwhelming. And today Pia is half her size, having given her sweat and blood to this project. I'm requesting you all to please join us as part of the team, because this message is for your children, our children, the children that are going to be born, the children that have already been born. This is for the children of India. This material on the 1st of December is going to be on the websites. It's going to be given to Doordarshan to be played. It's going to be given to any of your TV channels. Any of your TV channels on the 1st of December's World AIDS Day. My request is, please talk to your programming team, talk to your CEO, play this material. It can be in the vernacular language, it can be in Hindi, it can be in English, whatever you want. Play it repeatedly through the day, play it on any day you want to fill up. The entire program is 20 minutes long. Let the children of India see this, let them understand. You and I can understand. Every time I watch this video, I understand the subject more. I understand it better. I know how to talk about it. And let's break the silence. Let's make our country HIV free. My request is, please take this as your project. Take this as your animation film now. Let us all take ownership for this. You are the media. You are the voice of the country. You are responsible to make people aware. My sincere and humble request is, Pia has given her life for it. I am only connecting the two of you to please take this message on World AIDS Day. That's why we wanted to have it well in advance, so you can do your homework, you can do your preparation, and you can show these animation films. You can show the behind the scenes videos as well, because it makes it interesting. So why should people watch it? My request is that. On that note, Pia has a very, very impressive resume and biodata. We didn't waste any time talking about it, but you can see that something like this would not be possible without having an extremely passionate and compassionate heart. And I think more than any biodata in the world, that is the most precious in this world. To have a passionate and compassionate heart, that you make a difference in the community you have been part of, and when you leave having made that difference. Pia is leaving back to the United States tomorrow. I'm going to miss her terribly. We have become dear friends, like sisters, bringing this message to people, because we see women test positive during the happy test, a test which any mother will know. It's the happiest moment in your life to know that you're pregnant, that you're carrying your child. And today women in India are still testing positive for HIV because they contracted it in their youth, where they didn't know how HIV is transmitted. And so this is so special to us, that no child, no youth, no woman should go through that moment because they didn't know. It's in your hands now. Thank you, Pia. I request you all to give it a big round of applause.